Oh yeah, ay. When you need a hand and you don't know why, just know that I'll be there. When the road is long and you feel so tired.
I'm willing to make some deals on things, but I'm not desperate to make a sale. Hey there, YouTube. John Reagan with E-Powersport here. This isn't like a coffee chat or anything. I actually had an experience over the past few days that really made me understand that, perhaps a lot of you don't know how the industry really works. Or to be more specific, perhaps you don't understand how manufacturers work with us e-bike shops and bicycle shops even, versus say car dealerships, right? It's a very, very different world, first of all, and I want to approach that and explain why it is that this has come up recently, along with looking at imparting on you hopefully some knowledge so you don't seem like a jerk to some poor shop owner who's just trying to get by and make a living. Basically, a customer came to me, and over the course of a few days, we discussed the Wattwagon's Hydra demo sale. But in the end, they gave me a really, really low offer on it, and I just could not accept it. I mean, it was not even close to not only what I had it listed for, but it was considerably, I mean, it was thousands of dollars. Essentially, it was a 40% discount over what I even bought the bike for, what I paid for it. And I want you to kind of grasp onto that point, what I paid for it, okay? Because I paid for it. I paid for that bike, I paid for that bike, I paid for this bike, I paid for those bikes, I paid for that one, that one, that one. Every bike you see in here, these Segways, I paid for those. Those tires, all that, I paid for all that stuff. All of this stuff is my money. So, it's not like anyone gives us these bikes, okay? You have to really understand that. No one's giving me these bikes, okay? Companies, manufacturers give YouTubers e-bikes so that they'll make a nice little review, and then you'll watch it and say, oh, that was a nice review. It makes me feel good about buying that bike. Unlike car dealerships, where they sign up with a particular brand, let's say, like Chevy, right, or GM. They sign up with GM, and they get access to GM's lineup of cars, right? And in doing so, they pay a fee to GM, a dealer fee, and GM provides them with certain support when it comes to products being released, and they give them demos, right? That's actually a big part of it. The dealerships tend to get demos that allow them to show what the car does, right? Show what it is, what it does, how it operates, so on and so forth. Which in e-bike world, we don't get that. We actually have to purchase all of our demos, right? It's a requirement a lot of times in our dealership contracts for us to maintain a demo on the floor of each model even. And that's money straight out of our pocket. That's money that we have to spend, either ourselves, as the business, finance, however you put it. That's money that comes out of that store's, that shop's pocket to maintain those bikes. Sometimes if you're lucky and you sell a lot of a certain brand's bike, they'll give you a free bike, or they'll give you discounts, or they'll give you accessories that you can then sell and make a little more money on. But usually, like 99% of the time, we're spending our own money to do this because we love it. Because this is what we want to show to you. Because these things are amazing to us, and we think that you would find them to be amazing too. And to me, when I think about the offer and the whole situation, the way it went, it was a little offensive. I'm understating, it was very offensive. The previous video I did to this, I was just going off through it. You probably imagine. I've calmed down. That was my venting videos. So now I've calmed down a bit. I can actually formulate some straight thought on it, because it was pretty offensive. Just not even so much the offer, right? I understand everyone's trying to save a buck. Everybody wants to get a great deal. I'm the same way. I would love to offer people Hydra for those kinds of prices. It's just not possible. Even the components on those are more than what this person offered me. So it just not even gonna happen. But more to the point, something this person said really stood out to me. And that, again, going back to the auto industry, they get demos, right? And this person said, "Hey, well, I'm sorry. I thought you guys got free demos. I didn't mean anything by it, you know." But it occurred to me that obviously that wasn't their attitude about it. It was just their lack of knowledge about how our industry runs versus how their industry runs. And because of that commentary, I would say they probably work in the auto industry, you know, at a dealership or something. Which, you know, when you start thinking about it, I should be even more offended by, considering that most dealerships are jacking the price up of new cars and used cars by 50 to 100%. I just read an article today that a Ford dealer was jacking up the price of a Maverick by $22,000. And that was a dealer fee they were tacking on to this purchase. And the cost of the Ford Maverick is $22,000. So they basically are saying you have to pay double for this vehicle if you want it. So, you know, seriously. So, I mean, I guess the mentality there is, if you want it, you're going to pay more for it, right? And so I'm not trying to gouge anybody here. I'm not telling people that I'm going to charge you double MSRP for these bikes. I'm allowed to, right? I'm actually not allowed to tell you how little I can sell you that Watt Wagons for right now. Because it's, you know, all high-end parts, carbon fiber frames, super duper freaking motor. 2,300 watts. I only rate it 2 kilowatts. I don't throw in the extra 300 watts, but it's there. Yeah, it's just really nice. The Magura brakes are solid. I cannot complain. But I've really been holding off on any kind of like heavy duty riding on it, just because I figured I would sell it to somebody and they would get to enjoy it. But yeah, if those are the kind of offers people want to give me for it, if people just want to come across with, you know, 40% of asking price lowball offers, I'll just take it to the skate park behind me and record myself doing jumps and stuff instead. That's worth way more than taking that big of a freaking loss on the bike. Especially when you're talking about something like this, where it's just a high performance machine that there aren't very many of. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, even in the higher end space, when you get to Specialized and Trek, Cannondales, all that, this bike would be in the $12,000 to $15,000 range, and you're really getting an amazing deal on high-end parts, high-end performance, and just a freaking kick-ass bikes. I can't tell you because that's the minimum advertised price. I'm required by my agreement to advertise it as a certain price, but I'm also allowed by my agreement to verbally make you a lower offer. So that's how these things work. Right? And I hope that you understand that when you go into a bicycle shop, or you go into an e-bike shop, or even a lot of motorcycle power sport dealerships, that's their money that you see there. That's their financing. That's their debt. That's what they have on the line. And, you know, they need to make a certain amount. The longer it sits there, the more it costs. I actually, as you've noticed in our pricing, priced it out based on how much my costs are at each stage of delivery. So whether it's before it's produced, whether it's after it's produced and in shipment, or whether it's sitting on the floor. So those things all contribute, right, to my costs, and that's why they're that way, because I paid for that bike, 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 that one, and that one, and that one. I paid for all the bikes. And not only all the bikes, because even after you pay us money, I have to have money to buy those bikes, right? So I have financing to put those bikes in play, and then when I get the money released from the payment companies, then I have to pay that back and I get to take profit. That's how it works, right? It's a long wait game sometimes. And for us, it can be painful when somebody is like, I'm just gonna, you know, try and work this down as much as I can, especially when you see gas-powered cars selling for, you know, dealers tacking double the price on a gas-powered car when gas is going out, man. Haven't you figured that out yet? In the next 5 to 10 years, gas is probably gone. I mean, and if it isn't, you're gonna have to be really, really rich to pay to fill your tank up, all right? That's just how it's gonna be. So, to me, if you're buying a gas car right now, it's just a waste of an investment. You should really be trying to reduce all that and slide yourself over into electric and other forms of alternative transportation. And that's probably the best thing you could do. That's why I don't like going to buying cars from car dealerships. I prefer to buy cars from people because people are cool. Car dealerships are always trying to work into some financing and stuff, always trying to get you shafted on some payment, stuff like that. I hate that crap. So I'm not like that. We're not like that. If you get your bike financed, you're going through the finance company. I'm not getting a kickback. All I'm getting is a sale on a bike, all right? I don't like the idea of getting a kickback on financing. I think it incentivizes the wrong behavior. I think the right behavior is to make sure you get the right bike for your budget, not shafting you into payments every month that are going to keep you fucking down. The idea of this is to lift you up, all right? Because, charging you double for something is not what I'm about, right? If I wanted to charge you double, it'd be a lot more expensive and most people wouldn't be able to afford them, and that's not what we do. Our goal is to get these out to people so that they can afford it and they can ride it and they can start saving money as soon as possible, right? I'm not here to gouge you. I'm not here to take advantage of you. I'm here to help you. I'm here, and to have somebody come at me with this offer and just the whole situation, it didn't feel good. So, but, there's one plus that because of all this price gouging we're seeing in the automotive industry at the dealership level, more than likely they're going to end up either getting regulated or getting pushed out of business as the companies actually move towards the Tesla direct delivery model. So, either you guys can start playing ball correctly and being nice in the sandbox, or eventually you get pushed out of the sandbox. I'm sure a lot of people don't want to hear that. But, so that's kind of my thing. I hope you guys understand that, it wasn't really about the situation so much for me as trying to explain to you all that when you go to a bike shop and when you're dealing with these bike companies, or at least the retailer end of it, these are bikes that we bought. These are our money. This is, when we repair them, that's because we love to do it, right? So, and when we build them, it's because we love to do it. And hopefully we can make some money at it. But we can't keep making money at it if people want to try and cause us to lose money by selling bikes to them. It doesn't make sense. So that's what we call not good business. But anyway, keep that in mind. When you go into your local bike shop, know that that's that person's livelihood. That's most likely their life, right? And assess it. If their business line says we're only open, 3 hours a day or 4 hours a day or something, it's probably not their life. They're probably a hobbyist, but they probably still love it, and you should, give them that due respect. Don't try and undercut them and cause them to even just lose out on cost. That's horrible. Especially not when your own company is probably double charging people for cars. That's so funny. Anyway, keep that in mind, make it a pleasant buying experience for yourself as well as the shop owner. Understand that that's probably their money and they're probably happy to make the sale to you, but they're not going to make a sale so that they're losing money. It just doesn't make sense. All right. Again, that's bad business. So keep that in mind. We are different than a car dealership. We're not set up the way, and the way these manufacturers are set up to work with us is not the same. They expect us to spend a lot of money. I'm $100,000 in or so by now, and then effort-wise, I think we're at 650 now. 650,000. We're about $1 million company at the moment. But anyway, you guys have a good time, and remember to respect each other, and stay safe out there.
Know that I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there.